In our 14¼ inch gauge Rio history video, you may remember that I mentioned a Rio which moved to Cleethorpes years after the original two left. Well, it's time we talk about this modified Rio and how it went from going on safari to going to the seaside. My name is Dylan and this is the history of Königswinter. Built in 1975, she is one of the very successful steam outline 280 locomotives built by Serenity Limited of Stratford-upon-Avon in Warwickshire. Designed by David Cohen, she and her sisters were based on the 3-foot gauge C16 class of 280 locomotives of the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad, which were constructed between 1877 and 1882. As stated in the video about the 14¼ inch gauge Rios, these 7-lam versions of the C16 met the need for switch-on and go motive power for commercial miniature railways, which could be driven by any responsible person after basic training. This class was built to withstand heavy daily usage, with their frames being constructed of 7/8 of an inch fixed steel plate. The overall length of the locomotives were 19 foot and 8 inches. Their width was 2 foot and 10 inches, with a height to the top of the whistle of 4 foot 6 inches. Their driving wheels were about 1 foot in diameter and weighed around 1.5 tons, including the tender. She was constructed in 1975 for the Longleat Safari Park Railway. She was one of the Mark I variant of the 7-lam Rio Grande locomotives and arrived at the railway in April 1975. She was smartly turned out in a bright red gloss livery with polished aluminium cylinder ends with black painted smokebox, chimney, running plates, cab roof and tender frames. Her boiler was trimmed with brass and she had red side rods. She also had a cowcatcher fitted to the front of the buffer beam. She also had a red headlamp above the smokebox. She would remain in this form for many years. However, in 1989 she was completely rebuilt, removing the tender and placing the hydraulic pump, motor and engine above the driving wheels. She was now looking like a British tank engine, and with her new green livery she was now looking more like a Great Western tank engine. Her red headlamp and cowcatcher were replaced with a white lamp and red buffer beams. As stated before, her original body would find itself upon a Mark II Rio chassis, which belonged to our second Rio nicknamed Ross Castle, which still runs to this day at Billing Aquadrome. As time went on, she had many changes done to her, such as a new Lister Petter TX3 engine. She would also have her wheel arrangement changed, now becoming an 082 locomotive. She would slowly become less and less used due to the trains getting heavier, and she sometimes seemed to lose her footing when pulling the heavier trains. She would be put in the sheds as a backup locomotive in case any of the other locomotives failed. In 2019 she would be put on loan, travelling all the way from Longleat to Cleethorpes. At Cleethorpes, Seolin would become one of the main passenger diesels, reuniting with some of the old Longleat stock here at Cleethorpes. In 2021, she was purchased by the Cleethorpes Coastline Railway, becoming our number 5 locomotive. After being purchased, her nameplates were removed and sent back to Longleat. In 2023, number 5 was stripped down to bare frames and work commenced on her overhaul. After many months of hard work by our staff and volunteers, she rejoined the running fleet in early 2024. She was finished in a lovely red livery with black and ivory lining, also having a false firebox fitted inside the cab to house all the gauges and the ignition. On the 13th of July 2024, she was renamed Königswinter by the Burgermeister of Königswinter and the Mayor of North East Lincolnshire. We hope you enjoyed our journey through the history of Königswinter. If you did, why not give this video a like and comment about your favourite part? If you haven't yet, why not subscribe for more content? And don't forget to click the notification bell to notify you when we next upload.